Hi, I'm going to read you a section from Chapter 3 from the ADHD and Me book. I'm going to begin on page 35. This is, Blake is getting ready to take a math test. I write my name on the test booklet and I open the exam. Solve E2x equals 4. The directions near the top of the page clearly state that points will be deducted for all the calculations and all the steps are not shown on the exam sheet. The IB, or International Baccalaureate Program of Study, has very strict protocols. I look at the exam sheet and I look again at the directions. I search through the tests looking for space to do the work. This, I think to myself, could be a problem. I have large handwriting, and in order to do my calculations correctly, I need large amounts of scratch paper to clearly show every step. I search through the test and I discover that there is relatively little workspace for each problem. 90 minutes later, I hand in my test to the teacher, and I think the test was fair, but I also leave the room. I have an eerie feeling about this outcome. Part of this is relating to Blake's ADHD because he's worried about not having enough space adequately to calculate for his math problems, and he's worried that that alone is going to cause some problems, and he's already starting to have some anxiety because he realizes that this is potentially a problem. And so my question is if the test exam was perhaps given so that there was more space, or if Blake would have been able to ask the teacher for an additional sheet of paper to do space, if that could have been an accommodation for Blake. And we're going to skip forward here a few paragraphs. At home, I scrutinize my exam. In the first problem, I squeeze my calculations into the given space. I find an error. Simple multiplication error. In another problem, I find another error, switching positives and negative signs. In a third problem, I added instead of subtracted. In a fourth, I squared instead of multiplied. It becomes clear that my exam is full of small computational errors. My formulas were correct, my approaches were correct. How could I do this? Get this hard stuff right and leave the simple stuff wrong. And to me, this says that Blake really did know what he was doing. However, because of either time constraints or possibly his fear of not having enough space, he did not adequately perform on the test. And I'm going to skip forward again. I'm on page 37 now, chapter 3. In elementary school, my wooden desk became my home away from home. It was filled with books and old notepads, pieces of pencils, highlighters, erasers, dust, and especially papers. Papers crowded the desk to the point in order to do an assignment I would need to occupy part of a neighboring classmate's desk. As a result, no one wanted to sit next to me in class. They thought that my clutter would envelop them as well. And to me, this is showing another problem that Blake has that is a characteristic of ADHD, and that is organizational skills and just not knowing where to start and what he needs to throw away. And I think that this is common for a lot of people, the space and organization.